Today I am doing my very first cooking video. I've always been threatening that I'm going to do this, and now I've just decided to go ahead and do it. And today I'm making a favorite of Catherine and mine. I've been making it for a couple of years. Actually, it's a recipe that Jane Green gave me, and she had it at her house one day when she had us over for dinner, and I've loved it, and I passed it on to my sister, and now it's kind of a staple, and I think I've perfected it to the point of wanting to teach it to everybody else, because I think it's just perfect, and it's a wet, nasty, rainy, cold day, and I've just decided to start making my food videos. I've also kind of started to make them because I realized that there's a lot of mediocre shit out there, and food should never be mediocre. And this dish, it's this coconut sweet potato curry lentil dish, and I kind of have the recipe memorized, and so I've already pre-weighed out everything, not weighed out, measured it out, but it's super easy. And everyone, I'm going to put down the recipe, write down the recipe, and it is just such a yummy thing to eat. I am in my home kitchen. I don't have any other kitchen where I could be at right now, but I have 1.5 tablespoons of coconut oil. I have a lovely, lovely person who's on Westport Front Porch who I was like looking for coconut oil one day. He was like, oh my gosh, Trader Joe's is out of coconut oil. And I thought there was some type of shortage because of the pandemic. And so I was like, oh, I'm looking for coconut oil. And she was like, oh, there's coconut oil. And not only did she tell me that there was coconut oil, she also went out and she bought me some coconut oil. And it was one of the nicest things that I thought I ever done. And in my little bowl, because this is me being super hyper organized, I have a teaspoon of ginger. I have a half a teaspoon of turmeric because it's really good and colorful. I also have a tablespoon of organic curry powder that I've been like going through forever, because I bought a really big thing. I also have like some salt, half a teaspoon of salt, and that's about it. But first, before I do that, I'm going to add in my onions. I took one cup of chopped onion. You can use red or sweet. And so I'm going to put that in there. Cook that in with the coconut oil. And here's the really good part that you have to know. And this is something I really need to really get into people's heads. Cook your spices. Because if you don't cook these up and you add them in way too late, they will taste so nasty. It's like a shit show of flavors if you don't do it at the right time. And so I like to do it right now when I'm making my onions nice and like yummy, 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 yummy. So this comes together so easy, and you can eat it over rice or you can eat it by itself. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cook down the onions with all the little spices and everything until it's nice and brown. And I also have 1 carrot, like a big medium organic carrot. I went to Trader Joe's. Everything's practically from Trader Joe's. And then I also have a medium sweet potato that I chopped into like 1-inch chunks. 1 cup of dried lentils that I've washed and like kind of looked through to make sure there aren't any rocks, because I don't want to eat no rocks and break a tooth. And then I have 3.5 cups of vegetable stock. This is a totally vegan dinner, and it's super duper healthy and hearty. I like to make it in larger batches, because this actually isn't a very large batch, because I just didn't make a bigger one. Also, I need to get a bigger pot. Like I have this other pot, but it burns every single time I try to cook it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to cook that down. And all right, now I'm just going to go ahead and add all the other ingredients. I'm going to add the carrot, because the onions have gone nice and caramel. I don't know if you can see all that, because I could move this, but I won't. But I'm going to add the carrots. And then the sweet potato. Oh, And the lentils, I possibly should have added the lentils and like maybe got a little browning on them. But I didn't do that this time. But I am going to get a little bit of like that coconut oil flavor onto every single bite. Make sure there's enough salt because I did add some salt. I added the half a teaspoon of salt, but I'm a salty girl. It's not that I like salt, but I just think that salt really enhances salt. Salt and pepper here and where in effect want you to push it now, grooving by day and at night, working up a sweat. Come on now, girls. I'm combining songs. So look at that, yum yum. That is sweet potatoes and carrot and lentils and lots of turmeric and spices. And now, and the onion. And now I'm going to add in my vegetable broth. And, yep. Well, that's all she wrote. Now, this is just going to sit here. And it's going to cook. And I'm going to be one of those people where I'm going to actually clean my dishes before I eat my dinner. It's such a bad habit, but I grew up in not the best environment for cooking, and so I think that now that I'm kind of making my own home, I like to make sure that everything is in a place where I can cook. And I like to cook. I like to cook when it's nice and tidy. And right now I've kind of made my kitchen into a place I like to be, and it's a really fun thing. So this is going to sit and cook for about 25 minutes. I like to make sure that the lentils aren't too hard because you don't want them to be too hard. And I've used like the split lentils before and it becomes like a nice stewy type thing, but this is going to be lovely. I'm going to put it in a bowl. Sometimes we make like a coconut like cream sauce that you can put on it, or even like a dollop of yogurt, and it goes really nice. It makes the flavors just really lovely. And I'm looking at my lipstick. This is one of the first times I've put on lipstick in quite some time, and I'm trying to clear up my skin as I sit here and wait for this to cook. I haven't eaten today. I've been trying to figure out something that's going on with my computer, and it's really frustrating me. I don't think it's my computer. I think it's my wireless system in my house. It's just short. It's the same one I've had for like 50 years. No, not 50 years. It's the same one that's been here. But I'm going to continue to cook this, and that's it. I will put the recipe in. This is a delicious lentil, sweet potato, carrot curry. Super healthy. Our house is going to smell for a while, and that's okay. But usually if I do like some curry dish, I like to do curries like for a couple of days so that, yeah, it's currylicious and we smell good. And my neighbor, I hope she doesn't dislike the smell of curry. Oh, that would be so bad. But I love it, and it's good for you. And I always have this thing like turmeric. Turmeric's that thing where you're supposed to have a lot of it in your diet to prevent Alzheimer's. And I have this fear of Alzheimer's because my dad, or dementia, my dad had it, my grandfather had it. So I like to have a shit ton of turmeric in my diet. But thanks. Bye. So the stew is bubbling nicely. And let's see how these sweet potatoes are doing. I think they're nice and tender. Usually this recipe calls for red lentils, but I was out of red lentils, so it's green lentils. And so they're not exactly done, but once they are, I'm going to add in a half cup of coconut milk, and then we'll be finished with this. Last part of this is adding this lovely half cup of coconut milk. Blah, blah. And that's going to be nice and thick and just super duper flavorful. Okay. And that is the do. I'm gonna plate this baby up. Now I'm going to serve it up, and I've got my little, I got it from Walmart. Ha ha! Look at that. Yeah, this is going to be for my darling daughter, Catherine. And then I'm gonna sprinkle just a little bit chopped cilantro, because why not? And also I bought big ass bags of it from Trader Joe's, and if I don't use it up and everything, I'll end up with a shit ton of it, or I'll end up throwing it away. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of the leftover from the thing, coconut, and nothing's better than a bit of Frank's hot sauce. Maybe, yeah, maybe sriracha, but Frank's will do.
Hi.
Hi. Here, look at this bee. Look at this here bee. Come on, come on, come on. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's gonna fall.
Oh, shikes. Now my plating's all messed up, but it's good. Here we go. Let's see. It's absolutely delicious. Everything is nice. The lentils have a little bit of bite, because you don't want little mush lentils, and there's a little bit of heat. And I like the freshness of the cilantro because it brightens it up a little bit, and a little coconut. Oh, delicious. All right, bye.